On December 1996, the world stood still when news broke of a 6-year-old beauty queen who had been found strangled in the basement of her family home. As police began to investigate further, it became apparent that this was no ordinary crime scene. So what really happened to JonBenét Ramsey, and who was behind her untimely demise? Let's take a look at the timeline. December 1996, Boulder, Colorado. 6-year-old Ramsey was known for being a real firecracker. But when she didn't come downstairs for breakfast, something must have told her mother, Patsy Ramsey, that something was wrong. Police had arrived at the house to find a Christmas tree ornament shattered on the floor. The ransom note lay on the bottom stair. Few crimes had captured the public's attention so quickly and so intensely. Every parent wondered if it could have been them. Why had the kidnapper left the ransom note in the house? They intended to hold for millions of dollars. Why had they killed her? And what was the motive behind such a brutal attack? Soon the investigators turned their attention to the parents. Although they were officially listed as victims, they were now suspects too. Leads ran dry, and the media circus died down, until one day, a new book reignited the public's interest in the Ramsey case. Written by 2 former Boulder police officers, it painted a picture of police incompetence and a dysfunctional investigation. Was it true? Many people believed it might be, but others felt the book was nothing more than a cash-in attempt. Every child was afraid of the monster lurking in their closet. This meant the case could go in any direction. Any one of the thousands of people who had come into contact with could have been responsible. Who could have invaded her space and stolen her childhood? Who could have murdered her? To this day, the question remains unanswered. The investigation went into overdrive once more as investigators revisited the original evidence. What had they missed? Witnesses forget small details. Evidence is lost, and time moves on, but the Ramsey family never forgot. In the aftermath of the case, many people were left wondering if their own children were truly safe. Was it possible for a child to be taken from the safety of her own home and no one would know? Were there monsters living among us, hiding in plain sight, yet nobody knows what really happened? Was it a burglary gone wrong? Was it a jealous lover? Or was it something far more sinister? But one thing's for certain, the world will never forget little her death shocked a nation. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. And with that, I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Her smile touched the hearts of millions, and her legacy lives on. They continued to hold fundraisers and awareness days, keeping their daughter's memory alive. They fought for justice, not just for, but for all children everywhere. People began to question Patsy and John's story. Where exactly were they at the time of the murder? In 2013, DNA testing revealed that the paintbrush handle that had been used to strike had been holding traces of male DNA. For the first time ever, people across the globe could share their thoughts, ideas, and theories. But sometimes those theories bordered on the ridiculous. In the wake of the murder, an author predicted that ghosts would one day appear to reveal the truth. A quarter of a century has passed since the death of Ramsey, but her story doesn't seem to be getting any older. A psychic said the girl's body had been moved from the basement after the initial investigation. A self-proclaimed medium went on television to claim he'd spoken to spirit, which was haunting the family home. None of it helped the grieving parents, nor did it bring their daughter back. But it did keep the case in the public spotlight. It didn't match the DNA profile of either of her parents. It didn't match the DNA profile of Burke or her brother either. Others said she had accidentally killed herself while playing with a ligature. Some even claimed that it was her mother Patsy, who had written the ransom note and killed to make it look like a kidnapping gone wrong. But there was no proof of any of these claims. It was a complete mystery. The results of the test revealed that the killer was male and related to the child. But after a DNA test proved she wasn't guilty either, she and her brother Burke became persons of interest once more. Surely the killer had to be someone close to someone who knew her routine, someone who knew her house. It didn't take long for rumors to spread that the prime suspect was father. But when he took a voluntary DNA test to prove his innocence, it cleared him. The result? He wasn't the killer. In fact, he wasn't even related to. Just to rub salt into the wound, he died of cancer just months later. Others claimed Patsy had always wanted to be a famous child star, and saw this as her ticket to the top. But the most shocking theory of all was that both parents had been involved in death. It was even suggested that John had inappropriate urges towards his young daughter. But without any concrete evidence, these theories remained just that, theories. Could they have staged the break-in to cover up their tracks? One thing's for sure, they certainly knew how to make a dramatic entrance, and one could believe a child could be taken from the safety of her own home. And yet that's exactly what had happened. And although the room was in disarray, nothing of significant value appeared to be missing. Then they found the body. After an extensive search of the area, the young girl's lifeless form was eventually discovered in the basement of her own family home. She had been strangled. Post-mortem examination later revealed she had also been hit over the head with a paintbrush handle. At around 5:30 a.m., she went to check on her daughter, only to find her bed empty. Even more concerning was the fact that the window was open and the screen was on the floor, suggesting someone had climbed in. Startled by what she had found, Patsy immediately called out for John, her husband, but he was away on a business trip. She needed help and fast. As Patsy descended the stairs, she noticed a bizarre sight. There on the bottom step was a note written in what appeared to be ransom. Whoever had written it demanded $118,000 in exchange for her daughter's safe return. Reading it again, Patsy couldn't believe her eyes. This was not the work of an amateur. With shaky hands, she read out loud, "Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey, we have your daughter right now. You will see this is the only way to get her back. You have made us angry. We are professionals. If you go to the police, we will kill her. Deliver the money and pick up where we say, we will have everything ready for you. Please move quickly, because we like to be efficient." It was signed simply with 3 strange capital letters, SMB. As she dialed 911, one thought raced through Patsy's mind. Whoever had taken knew their house. It wasn't just a random act of violence. This was personal. An investigation was launched, and people were baffled. How could someone enter the house without forcing entry? Hadn't they locked the front door the evening before? They couldn't imagine why anyone would want to harm their sweet little girl, a child who had won local beauty pageants and was described as bubbly, smart, and kind. As dawn broke, so did new details. A sketch of the suspect was released, and people across America were transfixed. From the beginning, there was something about this case that didn't add up. If the kidnappers hadn't entered through the front door, then the only other option was that someone inside the house had let them in. As the investigation deepened, rumors started to spread. Some said John had lost millions in a business deal and was desperate to collect on his daughter's life insurance policy. Weeks turned into months, and the case grew colder. In 2008, DNA testing revealed that the killer hadn't left any trace of their DNA on the young girl's body. The breakthrough came when the Colorado Bureau of Investigation analyzed some of hair. With the father ruled out as a suspect, everyone's attention fell on the one remaining person who was closely related to her mother, Patsy. However, another twist in the tale was just around the corner. Who could have been so brutal as to harm such a young girl? With each passing year, the case grows colder and colder. But it wasn't just the Ramsey family who remained obsessed. One of the reasons the Ramsey case got so much media attention was because it happened during the advent of the internet. As the years passed, the theories grew more outlandish. Some said the killer was a secret admirer of who was jealous of her beauty. Although the case has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and television shows, no one has ever been brought to justice. In the pursuit of answers, thousands of tips have been called in, hundreds of people have been interviewed, and dozens of items of evidence have been examined. As the years pass by, it seems less and less likely that the truth will ever come out. What do you think happened to Ramsey? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.